Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar, we
Yes?
don't often get political on the show,
Oh,
but there is something.
I hate it when we get political.
But there's something going on now that we really need to mention. Have you heard about this Nevada rancher, Cliven Bundy?
Actually, this is the fun type of political. Yes.
He was going up against the government because
Fighting the man.
Yes, because he's a rancher and he didn't want to pay ranching fees. So the conservatives got behind him, and then he comes out and he makes a lot of statements that are far from appropriate. Here to comment is, and I don't even know what side this guy comes in on, the 62nd governor of the great state of Mississippi. Say hello to Haley Barbour.
Hey, the bobo, day.
Are you okay?
Mr. Barber.
Governor?
Sorry, Governor.
Hello, there. Rob, Oscar, and Pony Boy. I love that name, by the way. I was given a pony back in Mississippi.
As a boy?
As a young boy, I had a pony, and we named it was an all-white pony.
Really?
We named him. We named him Cotton. I rode my pony Cotton for days and days all over my yard. Of course, my yard was 2,500 acres of Mississippi farmland. But that goes without saying. I loved Cotton. I love that pony. So I do like your nicknames. You're a very talented young man, and I always enjoy coming by the show.
How is your health?
Oh, well, I'm slowing down in my old age, but
He's still active.
Yeah.
I'm still extremely active.
Yeah.
I'm not the governor no more, but I will tell you that I still I pay attention. I pay attention to politics, and I like to know what's going on, and I like to speak up. You see,
I understand.
when I see any kind of an injustice situation.
It's just I sometimes get worried. Sometimes it looks like you're racing to finish a thought, and you don't quite get there.
Oh, that's not true, Betty. I would tell you that I don't race anything. I have a slow lifestyle. We Southerners, you should understand this, Rob. We Southerners, you've been as far south as Richmond.
Of course.
I know that you spent some time there. I just, I take some time to get to my point, and if I don't have the words, somebody makes fun of me occasionally that I will just say,
Oh, interesting.
You know who has a lot of words?
Who's that?
Is a 67-year-old Nevada rancher, Cliven Bundy.
There is the fly in the molasses, if you will.
Yeah.
Now that is the singular reason I am here, because I feel it's necessary while the entire liberal elite is piling on this poor rancher that all he is trying to do,
Right.
you see, is trying to raise his cattle and not be infringed upon by the United States government, and then he makes a couple of casual comments, about a time gone by, comments that, in my humble opinion, were not entirely controversial
Now,
as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
have you actually heard the comments?
I know there are spineless politicians out there that are trying to distance themselves from Mr. Cliven Bundy, but I will tell you, I do not fall into that category there, Bubby.
Are you a supporter?
A supporter is a strong word, Rob. He's not running for office. You see.
All right. Do you condone his words?
Condone? I'm not going to distance myself from what one man says. It is the founding fathers' principle that a man can express
Governor.
his views any way he sees fit. You see,
Governor, which words do you actually condone?
Yeah. Would you like me to read a quote, Governor?
Is that Oscar speaking to me?
Yes.
I know you don't normally. He's not your favorite one
Buenos tardes.
Oh, God.
Buenos tardes to you, young man.
Remember, Governor, we talked about this bit. It doesn't work.
Oh,
It actually sounds racist.
Yeah, when you do it,
Yes.
it really
Well,
does.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Well, let me simply say, Feliz Navidad.
No, it's no good either.
Now it's holy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway, I would. Can I just make a comment here?
Please.
Sure.
This young man that's speaking to me now
Oscar.
speaks absolutely beautiful English. Absolutely.
Well,
Surprisingly well-spoken, Governor.
Absolutely
Thank you.
fine English.
Thank
for,
you.
the fact that his ancestors came from Paraguay and a long time
Paraguay.
ago,
Bolivia.
or one of those South American countries like Fiji. I think
I'm sure
that,
it's Fiji.
Yes, but I'm here to answer your question as well, young man. I will not make any. I will not answer it differently. I will address you head on because I believe in that all people make up this great country of ours. You see.
Now, do you think that Oscar's people have had a fair shake of it in our fair land?
A fair shake, a fair shake. We might as well just put a big giant welcome sign down there for where they're all streaming in on a daily basis.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenido. That's right. Well, you don't want to say goodbye to them. You want to say welcome.
That
but
does
anyway,
mean welcome, doesn't it?
yeah.
pardon me?
I said that-
Well, okay, mumbo jumbo. It doesn't matter to me.
does it
I
bother you,
believe, let me
Governor?
just say this,
Yes.
Rob Spiewak.
Yes,
I
Governor.
believe when they cross that border that they should have a complete grasp of the English language.
Like
immediately.
Oscar. Like
As
Oscar.
soon as, right out of the truck.
Yeah.
Total fluency in the English language, but
Out
I'm here
of
to
the
answer
truck.
this young man's question.
All right, Oscar, go ahead.
Yes, please. I guess the story itself, when I heard that you were commenting, I was a little shocked.
Yes.
And then I was curious because there really is no way to defend this gentleman, I don't think.
There, well, you're listening to the wrong people again, Oscar Santana. I tell you that. No way to defend him. My God, he is the representation. He is the personification. He is the he is the example of freedom in America. Is what he is. What
But
he
do you
is,
realize,
you know.
Governor Barber, even Fox
And
News...
then, hold on a second. I got to ask you, ain't that right, Hank?
Obama.
There you are.
Oh, is he
Yes,
there with
sirree.
you? Is he?
He's in the back. No, I just keep that handy. I got one of those little whoopee cushions. You know, one of those electronic things.
Yeah,
You know?
the Hank
Yeah,
Williams
yeah.
Jr. whoopee cushion.
Oh, absolutely. I keep it with me at all times. Ask me any question about anything in the world politics, anything whatsoever.
All right, who can we blame the situation in Crimea on?
Play the button.
Obama.
There you-
See? There you go.
Why can't I get health care?
Obama.
There it is right
Yeah.
there, boy. That's fantastic.
Who's our
yeah.
sexiest president?
Okay, no, sir. You're not going to get me to fall into that trap.
There you go.
But anyway, if I can be serious for a second,
Yeah, it's about
please,
time.
this good, decent, poor man who's simply trying to provide Americans with the beef they crave.
Right.
And I know that I eat beef 6 times a week. I have a
Wow.
steak or roast beef, or I have a pot roast that Mrs. Barber puts together with lovely baby peas and carrots.
How is your wife Harper?
Harper Barber is Barber
I know
is
she's not your
fantastic.
first wife. She's not your first wife.
No, she's my 8th. She is my 8th wife, and she is doing fine.
She makes
truly fine.
Makes
Harper
her
Barber.
signature ribeye for you.
Yes, and of course our daughters, Lily and Gwendolyn. Yes, they look so great on Easter Sunday, Rob. They had their gigantic dresses. They had their huge puffy skirts. Well, I haven't seen girls that lovely since the porch scene in Django Unchained.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
It was fantastic.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
are you
Yeah.
still a family that puts a lot of pride in Easter bonnets?
Oh my goodness gracious! We, I sing. I'll bring out the Barber ukulele, and my daughters and my lovely bride will come down the
Her name
giant
again is
circular stairway.
Harper,
and,
right?
Harper Barber, and she will come down the stairway, and I'll say, "In your Easter bonnet." But anyway, I digress. Stop picking on this poor man, Cliven Bundy. He's a
Cliven.
good what?
Cliven Bundy.
Cliven Bundy. Cliven Bundy with the cloven hooves. That's what the liberal media wants me to think.
So what you're saying is the way we should treat him, the way we should treat Cliven Bugger, we should treat him nice.
Nice.
Absolutely. Nice. And I've spoken too long, and I seem to have gotten myself a bit upset.
Oh, dear.
And when that happens, unfortunately, most of us barbers, it manifests itself in a bit of distress in the lower extremities, if you know what I mean.
I don't follow you.
That means that I have to take a shit.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Who said anything about that? I just thought you'd like to join us for some ice cream. Maybe your bug here can join us. We can talk about burying the hatchet. You know what a hatchet is, don't you, Bug?
It's an axe?
Sort of, yeah. I got one in the car if you'd like to see it.
A pass.
Fair enough. I like to carry it, you know. You never know when you're going to need it. A situation may come up, say, for example, someone's been drinking and about to drive a loved one home. Then I like to know I have it. Not to kill, no. Just to maim. Take a little off the shoulder. The elbow. Shave a little meat off the old kneecap. Ooh. You got both kneecaps? I like to keep mine razor sharp, too. Sharp enough you can shave with them. Why, I've been known to circumcise a gnat. You're not a gnat, are you, Bug? Wait a minute. Bug? Gnat? Is there a little similarity there? Whoa, I think there is.
Ray Charles!
Fuck melanoma. Molly Russell's wart.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Look at you.
You can talk about the pit, barbecue.
Mike is dancing.
The people too. I mess around.
Oh my God.
He's going to kill himself.
Better call Encore.
Sorry about that. Live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios, this is the Mike O'Mara Show. Broadcasting all over the planet, we are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 23, count them, $23 million.
Wow. Good for you.
Boy, that's a fantasy. 23 million downloads. We are at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and we are heard over the air on the mighty AM 1630 KCJJ.
Hey,
in
Mike.
the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks, yes.
I want to say hi to the KCJJ Listener of the Week.
Now, we're not going to do it daily. We're going to do it weekly?
Well, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so that means we have to listen to all 12 people again for the 4 days of the week.
Less
and
work,
then,
Mike.
It's just put it on Steve and have him send you a list.
All right, I
want it daily.
You want it every day.
Because we have lots of listeners in Iowa, and Steve Bridges, it's a way of paying homage to for you to say hello to a different Iowa listener every single day.
Well, first off, we should make a note.
Look
that today,
at the joy. Look at the joy in your brother's face.
I hate
right
looking
now.
at him. It's just disgusting, isn't it? Stupid purple shirt.
Right.
Like, you know what he looks like? He looks like anorexic Grimace.
I'll take that.
But today, Steve is doing one of his harebrained get-rich-quick schemes. It's a mini spring auction, and I know who's listening. The listener of the day, Diane Portwood. Hi, Diane.
Diane Portwood. That's an Iowa name right there.
Yeah.
The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners in the world. Why?
Why?
Because they get it. This portion of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our friends at Encore. If you're out there shopping insurance, it's hard to know which company offers the best value. What I love about Encore Insurance Services, that they will survey the most highly rated companies in the insurance world. As a CNN commentator would say. In the world. They scour the world looking for the finest life insurance companies for you. They are there to help. Encore does all the work so you don't have to. Popular internet disc jockey Oscar Santana will tell you that it could not be easier. What do you think, Oscar, was your total time commitment at Encore Insurance Services? You, personally, how much work did you have to put in to get a great life insurance policy?
No more than 15 minutes.
He had lots of time left to choose a purple T-shirt.
It's that easy.
It's
Just
a
call
Raven
toll-free
shirt, for God's sakes.
866-347-5748 to get a free life insurance quote. It's all free. There's no obligation, and no salesman will visit you. If you prefer computers, go to smartterm.com. That's where you'll find licensing, disclaimer, and quality customer service. Encore Insurance Services, LLC at smartterm.com, SMARTTERM.com. Stop paying too much for life insurance. Do it the smart way at smartterm.com. Well, greetings.
Hello.
A very festive opening to the show. Whoa. Got to just tip the cap to, they're calling him the Kingmaker now, Jon Stewart on the Daily Show.
Sure.
I have been, he has been all over this cattle rancher out there with
Bundy.
Cliven Bundy. Is
just
it
like saying
Nevada?
the name, yeah.
Is that where he is? He's
Yeah.
in Nevada?
Yeah.
And just hysterically funny because the genesis of this thing was Sean Hannity over on Fox taking up this guy's cause, which
Right.
really, even for somebody as out there as Sean Hannity, it really was something that I think inherently was risky.
Sure.
But not risky. I didn't think at the time risky because this guy was going to come out and just be really the bigot of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It was risky because there are guys showing up at this guy's cattle ranch with semi-automatic weapons ready to shoot it out with the government, and it looked to me like this thing was going to blow up. And
Well,
now
it's never.
it's
I
even
mean,
good.
is it ever really smart to back a guy whose whole thing is that he's against the government?
Yeah, could you set the table with a little more detail for those that haven't
All
watched
right,
or don't
this
know?
guy is a cattle rancher for 20 years.
Right.
His cattle have been, if you want to use an old Wild West term, free grazing on government land and doing it for free. And grazing fees, especially with private property owners, are the way that these big landowners out west can make money.
Yes.
And the fact is that his argument was because the government was not using this land, that he had the right to graze his cattle on it. Well, the fact is that he's been doing it for free. And it's really not fair when other people have to pay grazing fees or people have to, it costs more money for their cattle. The bottom line is the government wanted to collect a little something from this guy for having his cattle graze on government land. And he said, no way, no how. And because he wore a cowboy hat and he had a big belt buckle. And no, it's true, though. It's true because this is once again the romanticization of the entire cowboy gun-toting Wild West, and we love it because we're getting dumber. We are. Look, I don't care what your politics are, but we love the Wild West because that's what we watched on the Magic Box.
Who doesn't like City Slickers? The first one, not the second
Bingo.
one.
Who
First
doesn't
one,
love-
absolutely.
Dude, who doesn't love Sam Elliott?
Yeah, I have watched. Really, if you talk about movies recently, in the last 10 years that I have watched again and again and again, probably at the top, at least in the top 3, is Tombstone.
And I know the other two. They're Mask.
Not the one with Cher, the one with Jim Carrey.
No, they're actually
That's
those are
The
the other
Mask.
two. The Mask and Mask. You love them both.
That's true. Anyway, but it's the way. And so you get these guys, and the one guy that Jon Stewart showed on his show, and I don't quote Jon Stewart because you give me, when I do that on a regular basis, you're gonna give me the label that I have already as the lily-livered liberal from the East, and I will tell you that he showed a guy that said, we're down here and we're going to put the women on the front lines so that when the government shoots the women, that's going to be all over the TV.
All over the
So,
TV. That's
he
nice.
was getting these wingnuts to come down there, and it was hysterically funny to watch. And then, of course, when you get the harsh glare of the national media spotlight, you have this guy coming out, I don't know how many years ago, months ago, whatever, where he made just the most overtly racist statements, using the word Negro, which I believe was used, in the 1960s?
And the way
that's the last time that word was used to describe African Americans?
His pronunciation of the word Negro,
Yes, was kind of very quick.
I would
and,
say vague at best, to a
lent
point
itself,
where
lent itself to misinterpretation.
I'm not comfortable playing the tape. I mean, it's that bad, and
So-
he's really. This to me almost seems like something out of the show Veep, where you get a whole industry behind a guy, and then he just ruins it with one
Yeah,
sentence.
because they don't know. It's like such a knee-jerk reaction to back somebody like this because they need a hot story.
Right.
That
Right.
If you don't
Good
vet someone
television,
enough,
yeah.
I imagine if he was vetted, one of his friends or colleagues or associates would have been like, look, great guy. I'm behind his cause, but major racist. Like,
Yeah.
maybe this isn't the guy you back.
Yeah.
And that's his public statements. So you can imagine the way this guy speaks when he's in private. And so
Further, when he was
it's just
given a
funny
chance,
story.
when he was given a chance to defend himself, he backed up himself. He
Yeah.
defended his statements. So
they
he
call it
obviously,
doubling down, Rob.
Yeah,
That's what they call it.
he really actually this is the way he feels, and it's troubling that this is happening in this day and age.
Well, no, I mean, it's not troubling that there's some old fart racist out there. There are, millions of them, and they are out there all over the United States. And when I talk about racist, I'm not even talking about guys that, my God, we make racial jokes in our studio, and we move on, and it's
really
something
uncomfortable
that's,
for me.
I don't think we do. Mike, I don't think we do it enough.
The white guys make the racial jokes.
if it is Mr. Santana, you are welcome to call me personally and tell me to stop.
The Latin guy
but
sits
anyway,
here and says, "Ooh." Well, I hope they're not
But
talking
there-
about me.
there is the difference. There is the difference between an occasional comment
Just a random racist comment. No big deal.
and the fact that this guy obviously lives his life. No, let's talk about that.
Sure.
You know what I'm. You know
guys
what I'm
aren't
talking
racist.
about.
You're the first thing from racist. Well, maybe not you guys. Mike, you're not racist.
I agree.
You're the furthest thing from racist
I
that I
agree.
know. And so Pony's a good guy too. Rob, he's got that question mark above his head sometimes. But I know that he's a God-loving and a good man.
I've
and he accepts
accepted
all.
you. I've
And
accepted you, have I
he
not?
really threw us like a curveball when he brought that little Somalian child into his life.
My son Jabril.
Otherwise known as the beard. And I said, for his racism. And I said,
The beard for his racism. That's funny.
Wow. You know how really unsettling it is when your master plan is just unraveled in front of your
I
very
know.
eyes.
He just pulled
I
back
thought
the
I
big
was
curtain.
I thought I was fooling him for years.
no, but I really believe that there are certain people, and it's tough to. There's no way to defend them, but that's all they know. Some people, this is all they know, and it's whether it's ignorance or hatred or a cocktail of both. It's just there.
And you said,
And-
Mike, you said it's not troubling, but we know what is troubling, really, is that one of the major news sources, one of the major media outlets in our nation, Fox News, backed this guy without vetting him.
That's scary.
That is
Now,
troubling.
Did the whole channel do it? I know they've got kind of a common theme, but I know that Hannity had the guy on, and Hannity was defending the guy.
Even
and
if
Hannity
it's
was
just-
making the guy into a folk hero.
Hannity is one of the faces of the network. So if Hannity, you know what? I'm willing to say if Hannity backed him, the network backed him.
Yeah, and even if the show's from what we learned in the newsroom, and I know that's a TV show.
Yes.
They have to. You don't think a guy like Hannity, even though whether you agree or you disagree with his shtick, that type of guy has producers out there that he's trusting as well, that he thinks that are going to make his point and help him look good. This does not make
you
him
know-
look good.
Getting back to the whole guy that got me on this, Jon Stewart, do you realize now, and this is where I totally agree with Jon Stewart, that we now in this country, you talk about Fox News, then he showed a clip from CNN, which was, again, you know what their lead story was with, what's her name, Erin Burnett?
What? She's hot,
it was
by the way.
It was the fact that they were talking about finding what might have been a piece of that plane.
Oh, my
We
God.
now officially, it's
This
official.
plane.
It is official,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion. We have zero. We have no news outlets. If you're looking to Fox or MSNBC or CNN to get information, you're screwed. They don't exist anymore. There is no, because CNN is doing the plane show because they get the ratings with it.
Plane show.
Fox is doing the propaganda dance, which they always do, and MSNBC is doing the Hillary Clinton dance. It's absolutely true. That's all. They all have their agendas. Yes, go ahead, Oscar.
You mentioned this, and back to CNN, and I'd heard you rant and rave about this, and I've seen like a lot of people online saying, "All right, enough CNN." So I tuned in.
Month and a half.
I tuned in. I
want
want to say like a week ago because there was a local sub company here right outside of DC in Landover, Maryland.
Did they make U-boats or did they
No,
make sandwiches?
They made those
U-boats, of course, you had to use that.
They
sub.
made those unmanned subs
Okay.
that were searching for the wreckage. And I thought that was an interesting tie to here. And I said, okay, I'll watch this and I'll watch more about it.
And then I can buy one and open up a company. What I can do, I can photograph lakes at golf courses.
How many golf balls do you have in that man-made lake?
Hernando golf ball recovery.
So that dovetail, like that really moved into a story where it said, hey, we're here at this mini sub establishment in Lake Ontario, and we're going to go down and we're going to show you a bird's eye view of what happens. And the guy, I kid you not, he might as well have been in a backyard pool. He gets in the sub, and he goes down 3 feet, hits the bottom of that lake, wherever they
Martin Savage, I believe, was the reporter's
and
name.
he goes, it's pretty tight in here. And so they're showing a camera view of what he sees. Mind you, the Indian Ocean and an effing river or / lake is nothing. That you can't compare the two.
They got to go 2 miles down, and he's taking Captain Nemo's sub from Disneyland, where you look out the window and you can actually still see the castle. It's
so true.
It's useless. Yeah. It's useless. So I'm here to say,
cartoonish reporting.
They had a survey, I guess, a couple of years. I know we talked about it on the show. There was a survey as to where young people get their news. And I believe Comedy Central, The Daily Show, was top of the heap, was it not? And I'm here to say I have joined you because since I'm not going to get any real news from any of the other ones, whether you're Fox or MSNBC or CNN, I am now, and maybe PBS, I suppose, if you wanted to go to that, if you wanted to get in-depth coverage of real news stories, they might be the only outlet to do that, and I might be trying that as well. But it is truly amazing that it's the ratings machine right now. The whole discourse on both sides has caused we've stopped thinking critically.
Right.
Even on the most basic level, we don't think.
Thinking.
Yeah, we don't do any critical thinking.
We accept what they feed us. It's so true.
We have everybody picks their team, and incidentally, I know that I skew. I know. Hey, there's a nice little siren.
It's the law.
Pony, you're right.
It's the law coming to get us. I know. Instead, I fully accept responsibility that I skew left and I vote Democratic on a lot of issues. I own it.
No.
I completely own it. But the fact is, I also like to think that if you can lay a critical argument on me, that I want to hear it. If you can lay it out in an intelligent way without screaming and yelling and really just piling so much BS on, I'd love to hear it. I love it. I like the discourse. I like the debate. It just doesn't seem that it's there anymore. You got your one channel that says the same thing every day. You got your other channel that says the same thing every day. And then you got another channel that, I used to think that maybe they skewed a little left, but they had some hard news, and now they're the official the plane is underwater channel.
Yeah.
That's all we got. So that's why we're getting dumber.
The RT or Al Jazeera?
I've never looked at the RT.
I've actually heard Al Jazeera is one of the better sources for unbiased news.
Well, they're unbiased isn't paying because they're laying off some people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mr.
Yeah, and it doesn't pay. What pays is just like in radio.
Yeah.
What pays is the big mouth screaming guy. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it as dumb. It's them against us. And I don't know what makes me sad about it. What makes me sad about it is that I minored in history at American University, and I will tell you this, that really I wish that we would teach more real history in our schools. I really do, because if you learned a little of the history, you'd hear these arguments are the same arguments that a lot of other people have been using in the past.
But to be fair, Mike, it was easier to minor in history when you went to AU because there was less of it then.
Did you hear the latest story coming out of your alma mater?
What?
No.
There's
What
an
is that?
underground fraternity.
Really?
And they are in hot water.
Well, that's a great tease. Do you have any information on that?
I'll pull it up right now.
Wow.
Very good. I like to hear that when we come back. This is the Mike O'Meara Show. I love shows like this.
Me too. Yeah.
So I don't even have to write them. Here we go. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Meara Show, everybody. The pipeline has established itself between D.C. and southern Florida, southwestern Florida. We are, or west southern Florida, as Rob likes to call it.
Thank you. WSF.
We are, on a weekly basis, sending a lot of stuff between each other. Actually, it's really one way. The guys send a lot of stuff down to me. Computers are great. They make this broadcast possible, and it's the best way to make running a business easier, including your mailing and shipping if you do what we do. Let me tell you about it. It's Stamps.com. You can get 24-hour access to the post office right from your computer. No waiting in line, no hassle. Stamps.com will make mailing and shipping easy. You can use your own computer and printer to get official U.S. postage on demand for any letter or package,
Mike,
and
how
then you
about-
just print the postage directly.
How about yesterday? I had to mail to you a 6-foot banner. I mean, this was something I didn't even like carrying around when I picked it up. All I had to do was go to Stamps.com. My mailman was delighted to take it from me.
True story.
You know, I'm surprised at
You'll
that.
get it in a couple
True
days.
story.
You'll get it in a couple
I
days.
am surprised that you didn't like carrying around because you seem to indicate when you were carrying stuff through the airport that you and Pony both loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
Best of all, there is zero guesswork. Stamps.com will send you a free digital scale that calculates the exact postage for any class of mail. We use them, Stamps.com. We love them, and it's been fantastic for us. Act now for a 30-day free, no-risk trial and $110 bonus offer, including the digital scale and up to $55 in free postage. Just go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone and use our code TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the page and type TMOS. Remember, Stamps.com, TMOS. You'll never have to go to the post office again. All right, so we were talking about fixing the world's problems, as we often like to do on the show,
Sure.
and Oscar's suddenly laid something on me that there's major controversy at the American University.
Were you in a fraternity when you were at AU?
No, I was at I was in a fraternity honorarily before I got out of Marist
Oh, that's
College.
right.
Oh, that's right. You
Where
and Bill-
speak of the devil, Bill O'Reilly.
You and Bill O'Reilly were both in the same fraternity, and didn't
Yes.
you burn each other with lighter fluid or something?
Well, I was
Yeah, you
sworn to
branded each other.
secrecy. I was sworn to secrecy
Right.
under penalty of death. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so you strip down to your underwear, and you want me to tell it like Bill
I
O'Reilly?
want you to talk slowly and in a low voice.
Oh, yeah. Well, here it is. Sigma Phi Epsilon, Rob.
Yeah.
What they do, it's a fraternity. They were all making fun of me. I had a little hair on my chest. And for about a week before, they do what the guys do. They come up to you, they point at you, pull your hair on your chest. It's kind of homoerotic fun. We like it.
Now,
So,
you're being so dismissive, Bill. I mean, don't you
Yes.
approve of the Greek life?
well, I approve of Greek life, if it's, a Greek fraternity stocked with all white men. But anyway. So what they did was they would make you go through all these rooms. Then there was the sodomy. No, I'm just
Right.
kidding. No, that didn't happen. You strip down to your underwear. At the end of the deal was they push you back and you fall back into the arms of your brothers, and they take alcohol
the loving
and
arms.
they spell out. It's definitely homoerotic.
I got it
fun.
is, huh?
It's just look at the scene in Animal House. You'll understand.
Sure,
what it's
yeah.
about. And then they write the Greek letters on your chest in alcohol and light it on fire and put it out with a towel. It happened, I guess, maybe South Carolina. I'm not sure. One of the fraternities down there. The guy got the first letter. They lit the first letter, and he went, knocked the bowl of alcohol out of the guy's hand and got third-degree burns.
Oh,
they
no.
got a little concerned about it after that, and it went public. I've been speaking about it ever since. It was
Excellent.
scary.
I
But,
think actually you might have broken the silence before that story.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
The answer is, though, no. It was Marist College and not American University.
So, excuse me,
Oh.
as I
I think someone spilled a bowl of alcohol in Oscar's
I've got the
mouth.
same thing.
It's the
I think
allergies.
there's a little
I
bit of
hate
that
to
going
even say
around.
that, but it's true. Okay, so American University, the story breaks at the beginning of this week, and it's just growing here. There is allegedly skull and bones, and I hate to even give it that type of tag because it's a secret fraternity, but everybody knows about the fraternity, right?
Yeah, and if it's AU, they be probably hard pressed to find a 4.0 in that.
But
There
it's
would
not
be in Skull and
established.
Bones. Right.
It's Epsilon Iota, and they apparently had been affiliated with another nationally recognized fraternity that
I know what you're thinking. I know what Rob's thinking.
What?
And I won't care one iota.
I mean, were all the other Greek letters taken? Because if you had to rank the Greek letters, iota is sort of a suck Greek letter.
Is it Sigma Iota?
Is
No.
iota even a letter?
it's
I have no
Epsilon
idea.
Iota.
Epsilon. Mine was Sigma Phi Epsilon.
There
Ah,
you go.
You see, now
mine.
that's
sick
a
app.
good one.
And,
So
whenever I do this, I'll get like 6 Facebook. Me too. Please
my
don't
brother
send those
was
along.
as well.
So what happened with Epsilon
So-
Iota?
they are not nationally recognized, but they are a fraternity that everybody knows about at American University. And unfortunately, and when you go to a bigger school, you have a school where they do have a Greek system. Different fraternities are known for different things, right? This was known, according to one Facebook post, as the quote-unquote rapey fraternity.
Oh.
And
The rapey fraternity?
That is not a good
And I
tag.
really don't think rape should be used as an adjective. I don't know that that's
scary.
appropriate.
Yes.
Iota, Mike, is a Greek letter. It is the 9th letter of the Greek alphabet, iota.
Wow.
There you are.
Now we can rest
I can.
soundly. So what I do know is this, is that 70 text messages to emails got released on a random Tumblr page from these fraternity members talking to each other. They're talking about an alleged assault that happened, and they're using, vulgar language, racist language, inappropriate language. And the university wants nothing to do with this because they are not affiliated technically with the university. But if there is a chapter working on your grounds and around your community,
Right.
you have to address it. So what has happened now with AU is that they have had like an S-storm of trouble because even like nationally it's getting used because there are a lot of underground universities that exist.
Well, fraternities.
Underground fraternities, organizations that exist on universities. And they are not held to the same standard as the accredited ones or national ones because a lot of schools are now breaking down these barriers of these organized Greek life houses because of the liabilities that come with them.
So they're basically just accepting them as like social clubs on campus?
Kind of.
Okay.
And in a different way, if you've got a group of young men and women, and young women and men and women won't necessarily be like the rapey club, but you have to monitor them. You have to have some sort of
rapey club.
Yeah,
God.
that's what they're known as.
Wow.
And when I was at West Virginia University, I knew that one was like the rugby fraternity, another one was the football fraternity.
Right,
But there was
right.
never a rapey fraternity, and that's not the moniker I think anybody would be happy with.
Right.
But
You
when
know, it just, I mean, I know I'm, 54 years old, but it just seems to me back in
What, no one else?
back in the day, when I went to AU, at my, when I hung around the fraternity house that was there, and it didn't seem to be that big a deal, and they were really, really nice guys, and they had great parties. It was really a popular place. I think it still exists today. It's called Delta House.
Come on in.
Let me give you a little more context for this. So apparently what they are alleging is, and this is from the article, that this underground fraternity discussed rape, assault, underage drinking, and illegal drug consumption, as well as how to keep illicit behavior secret within these emails, this inner group emails back and forth, back and forth.
They discussed rape?
And then if you look at the actual text, because they released the text, it was on Tumblr before it was taken down, and the emails, they talk about how there was rumors going around that a girl got assaulted at one of their parties, or a fight broke out, and one of the fraternity members, and I'm paraphrasing here, says, well, that, and I'm not paraphrasing this, he goes, those bitches were hitting us, slapping us, end quote. And there's just, when you read this, you kind of sit there, you're like, this is happening maybe 5 miles from where we are right now.
As American
And it's
University,
also-
have they issued any statement
They have.
regarding it?
They're
Okay.
doing their
okay,
internal
they're doing it
inquiry.
because I know they could have probably. I have to imagine if it's something that is sizey enough that it's sort of a badly kept secret. I'm sure the university knew about it, but they can no longer turn a blind
I'm
eye
going to
to
let
it.
Rob read this one email that's kind of blacked out as far as the names are concerned, but you can follow along, all right? There's a back and forth.
It
So
says,
the subject line is, what the F?
Okay, sent from my iPhone. It says, crew, why do I have multiple people from blank bitches to GDI dudes texting me about hitting girls?
EI, Epsilon
hitting
IO,
girls.
yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, forgive me. Apparently, some girls on the soccer team are claiming that we beat them up. What the F is this nonsense? I love you guys. I really hope this is just a blown-up rumor. I know you guys wouldn't do this kind of S. If I'm completely mistaken about these events, my apologies. I only assumed it was you guys because you told the story about a group of girls yelling at you on Mass Avenue Friday night. Signed, Ace Hole.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, well, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
no,
I'll be honest.
go
I mean,
to
if
the
you're going to
next
be a
one.
prosecutor,
Go to the
that's
next
really
one. That's a...
So, I mean, if Oscar, if I'm
Yes.
like the prosecutor, I'm
Yeah.
listening to that, I'm like, okay, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
The reply is...
That's a guy talking about rumors that
And
you
he's
know,
actually
nobody's-
trying to
nobody-
quantum and get to the bottom of.
because nothing's been
Yeah.
corroborated so
Okay.
far.
I don't know if that really means anything, but regardless, that's what I heard. And the reply is, I don't care what happened, but damage control needs to happen. I have alumni hitting me up saying they're hearing from blank that a brother hit a girl. The guys who are involved need to contact this girl and have her fess up about the truth if it is what you say it is. The power of rumors lies not with their validity. The impact is determined by how far they're spread before they're debunked. Please get on this, guys, and keep me updated.
So this guy's a responsible guy. You get behind this guy, right?
And he obviously is articulate.
Yeah,
so
you're
he
trying to
sounds
figure out what's
intelligent.
going on. And,
And at this stage, from what I'm reading from these emails, is they believe that this is these allegations are untrue. That this is a rumor factory, and he's trying to get to the bottom of it.
yes.
That might change with this email. It reads,
Okay.
a reply, I mean, dude, it kind of has to be discussed here. This is the only means of mass communications with the brothers. So if this is a brotherhood issue, which it is, we need to strategize and figure out what to do. And
Well, but there's still strategy. They might be strategizing. I look. I'm the first one that I love to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Are you part of the fatherhood here?
No, there's nothing in there that I've read. That
Were
there's
you a
nothing,
founding father?
There's nothing I've heard in there that indicates that this is when he's talking about strategizing. He's talking about some rumors that are getting out, and they have to handle it. I'm not hearing corroboration of, hey, they were wrong. We beat them up. We did this. If they did it. I believe expulsion and perhaps arrest. But if they didn't do it, and it is a rumor situation, I'd like to know that as well.
There are 70 pages of this. So it goes
Really?
into detail. Again, the salt isn't necessarily the key factor of this. The point that the American University is making now is that this fraternity has been active, underground fraternity or club has been active for over 10 years now on their campus.
and doing bad things.
Now, they're probably doing, outside of the rape, because, again, this is alleged, they're probably doing enough negative things to be known as that type of club. Yes
and
or no?
if they are even in jest, if they are using words like the rapies and stuff like that, then they have to have the hammer come down on them. I
And
mean,
also-
they do. That's just misguided and twisted and wrong, and they shouldn't have that happening at all.
The valid fraternities actually have a certain amount of quota, I believe, of public good they have to do to remain in good standing with the university.
They
so,
do.
Right.
And so they're obviously not doing
I'm
anything
a
like
fan
this
of-
if they're an underground
I
fraternity.
am a fan of the Greek system when it is executed the way that the founding members want it to be. Now, is it fun to go to the parties? Yes, but there
Yeah,
are,
of course it is.
But there are some, and I remember my brother going through, because that's the best way that I can look at that. Is I remember my brother would go to business seminars in Baltimore and in D.C. with his
Right.
fraternity,
Right.
And they
Right.
would, and these are things that were outside of the school curriculum.
Right.
That the fraternity would provide for their brothers, and they would go and sit and they would learn about business, and if they needed to go and do mock interviews for school, they would have that in the fraternity house. If you're going to leave, if you're a senior or junior looking for jobs, they would help you go through interview processes. It was impressive what they would do outside of all the drinking and whatever else came with it.
Well, my philosophy of fraternities is the same with getting involved in a country club or anything like that.
What's that?
I've joined clubs over the years, and I've never been
Oh.
fond of them because they accept me as a member in the great tradition of Will Rogers. Never really wanted to join a club that would accept me as a member. Well, we'll keep on this, Oscar. I'd like you to look into this and let me know what's going on. All right,
I will.
We will take a break. Hi, Mrs. O'Mara, looking lovely
Hello,
again. She
Carla.
walks right by the window every day at this time. Bye, baby. See you later, Exorcist, Demon Child. Yes, sir. There he goes. I'll
when
talk
you
about
said
his.
baby, I thought you were talking to Carla still. Hey, baby.
No, that's my beautiful. That is my
call
beautiful son.
your son
That is my
baby?
beautiful son, and I called him baby.
Hey, baby.
And I said Demon Child Exorcist because he's been making the sounds that I will try to recreate for you when we come back on the
good.
Mike O'Mara Show.
I'm playing this
Am I
for
matching the beat?
I'm playing this for Elizabeth, Mike. She loves country music.
I don't think I'm matching the beat based on Rob's and my discourse today on the show. A little bit of delay. Anyway, welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by our Amazon page. It's the best way to buy anything, and it supports the show at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. You will love it. And Rob does a lot of his purchasing of music on Amazon. They have MP3s, CDs, LPs, even 45 RPMs. You purchased a lot of 45s on Amazon as well.
Absolutely. They have new ones. They have used ones. It's a great place to find them. And what a lot of people don't know is if you buy MP3s on Amazon, they are not encrypted with the metadata that Apple does. So the fact remains, they play across all platforms. Are you there? I think you just kicked your microphone out, Mike.
No,
he didn't?
no. He didn't do anything. Oh,
We
this
do
is
not have
strange.
him.
Are we connected?
We are connected.
Yeah. I'm gonna hang out here and pretend that Mike didn't just do something on his end.
Right?
Yeah, because
Amazon is the best.
because none of us moved here.
No. What is great about Amazon is the fact that not getting you, Mike.
No, you should plug your mic back in. It sounded like your mic got pulled out. There we go.
There we go. If you go to our website and you
Yes.
click the Amazon button, it takes you straight to Amazon. It doesn't cost you any extra, but we benefit. It's the best way to support the show.
I'm gonna put an example out there.
Okay.
If you buy $100 piece of electronic equipment, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
Yes,
can hear
we
that.
If you buy a $100 piece of electronic equipment, we get 4 cents. Now, think about this. That's why the 4 cents becomes 8 cents if you buy $200 of electronic equipment. And you
No
think-
one can argue with this math.
And if you think, well, what does that matter, you guys? The more people that do it, that becomes $1 or $2, and we're thankful for it. You get to save. It's one extra step for you. It's an extra nickel for us, and we all can work together. It's simple as that.
Amazon is the best. So remember, Amazon.com. Click the button at our website, MikeO'MaraShow.com.
D button.
And button.
Speaking of
And you
buttons.
can bookmark that, too.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, hey, Pony's here today.
Oh, hey,
Hi,
Boney.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
This
I'm
is
just great.
a magnificent close-up of Mike's shirt.
I thought I was
Wow.
looking at the. You know what? Mike's shirt was so bright. He's so Florida blue right now.
Yeah, he is bright blue.
Or maybe of ice blue. I would say it looked like I was looking at the bottom of a pool because he was so close up to the
boys.
camera.
Hey, there you
buddy. Oh, there we go.
How you doing?
Good.
How's
good.
it going? It seems to be an audio processing issue, so I'm going to try to the compressor limiter that we use down
Yeah.
here is might have lost power, and I'm just going to try to fix it. So
No problem.
talk amongst yourselves.
You're gonna
Thank you,
reset
sir.
it?
Thank
Lucky
you.
you have that effects mic. That's excellent. That's excellent. You know what I have?
I'm handy, baby. I'm handy.
You're quick. You're on it.
Hey, remember like 2 weeks ago when Mike kicked out the plug? He
Yeah.
said, you know what, guys? This weekend I'm going to screw that power outlet in a place where I can't kick it.
Really not the time to bring it up.
No,
I
Hey,
don't think so.
Oscar.
Oh, you can hear us still?
Oscar,
Oh,
my
weird.
feet were
Weird.
flat on the floor, so
Oh.
nothing was touched.
Oh,
That's
no,
what
okay,
concerns
so-
me a little
Oh,
bit.
that does concern me as well. Please. That man is
What-
lying.
What are you doing? Don't
What-
do
what?
that.
I just was going back. Look, his feet weren't touching the floor.
That's like
I
implying.
just, I just wanted to make sure that Oscar was aware of that.
We're aware.
Asshole.
Oh, the good old days.
You know what I have to do today?
Yes.
I have to go to my magnificent Asian barber Mary and have my head shaved because I have another sleep study tomorrow.
Oh my God.
So they're gonna have to put all the Brainiac leads on my head.
Do you still pay $5?
Yeah, no. This is a barber closer to my home. It is not $5.99 haircut it was $4.99 haircut.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Manassas, no longer on the way.
How much does your haircut cost now? And how much is your? You know, I wanted to ask you this because
Yeah,
I mentioned this in passing to Mike that the infrastructure of my life, and
Right.
nobody ever wants to utter these words,
right.
is in Manassas.
Yeah.
My
Well,
bank,
we've built it over the years.
my body shop,
Yeah.
my tuning shop for my car.
Yeah, the Jiffy Lube that I would go
Yeah.
to is there. Absolutely.
The post office, everything is there, right? 5 years. We're
My
there for-
Starbucks.
Your Starbucks,
Yeah.
everything's there. How have you adjusted to that?
It's weird. It's weird.
Right? Because you got to find a new barber.
Yeah, I had to find it. Well, and also, I mean, something even as common as getting gasoline, you have a habit for when you get gas.
And it costs more where you live than it does in Manassas.
It does. And
right?
well, thank God I'm not buying it downtown. It's really
Does it really
expensive.
change that much
Yeah,
from downtown to right outside the city?
No, like here in Leesburg.
Oh, yeah,
Leesburg versus DC.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But it is. Everything has changed. Are you there, Mike?
Hi, boys.
Hey, very cool.
What happened?
It was a power situation, but it was it's just it's from a previous loose connection, and that's all it was. So it didn't get kicked today, but it was probably
Well,
not,
it's been fixed. That's the most important
Love
part.
it. Good on your feet.
that is.
Yes.
And can you guys see me
We
okay?
can.
Yeah, you're
we
purty.
can.
You're purty.
I can't see you.
Oh, you can't see us? Oh, interesting. You know what? I got.
Oh, you turned the
this
camera
guy,
off.
Yeah, when we reconnected.
There you go.
Yay.
We were just talking, Mike, about
You know
how
what?
much-
Can I be honest with
Yeah.
our listeners here?
Sure.
Because it was not kicked today, but it is in a vulnerable position down here. And of all the issues that we have had technically since we started doing this, it's the goddamn power strip.
Right.
And,
It's human
Oscar,
error.
I am here to tell you
Yes.
1,000% that you are absolutely right, that this is something that has to be addressed by me and has to be done. And if it requires wood screws and mounting in the right place where it's
Yeah.
not going to be in a vulnerable position, It's going to happen, and it's
Yes,
going to
sir.
happen this weekend. You got it.
And not a
Absolutely.
day late.
I had to do it. I had to do it yesterday.
Son of a
myself.
bitch. You will never let me off the hook. You will never let me off the hook. Okay?
I had to do the exact same thing.
Good
last
luck.
night.
Incidentally, by the way, good luck with that correspondence accounting class you're going to be taking.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that. Thank
Oh,
you.
he is
Appreciate that.
not.
Very
Is he really?
No, that was a joke.
Yeah.
God.
That was a joke.
You see, but here's the thing.
You
with
see
him,
the
you
need
never know.
for the need for an accounting class based on yesterday. That's
with
the
him, you
inside
never
joke
know.
that I was trying to make. You see, how can I make a joke if I don't? Anyway, so what were you guys talking about?
I had to crawl under my desk last night, Mike, and unplug everything and replug it because I have a strip that gives you like 12 USB ports, and I didn't realize it had gone south. And I wasn't able to do anything on my computer. Lost my mouse, lost my recording, and so I had to crawl. And this is a lovely sight when Carrie comes home and sees me hands and knees under my desk because all the
Yes.
wires are under there.
and you know, you and I both love doing that.
of course. And when I do it naked because I feel it gives me more. No, not
Well,
really.
you don't I'll rip your jeans.
But the thing that was so bad is when I go under there, again, I'm still flushing my nose out with saline every day.
Oh,
and I'm not
no.
often on my hands and knees. So the minute I got on my hands and knees, all the fluid released out of my face.
Oh God! Oh jeez!
But luckily-
nasty.
It didn't hit any of the cords. So
That
we're
is-
safe.
that is
Well, I don't
just
like it
nasty.
any more than you guys, to be
Well, I'll
honest.
tell you this. You got to live with that. Hey,
But I guess my
do you ever?
It is my cross to bear.
You know,
I'd
in
rather
all
you than
seriousness, you know how embarrassing it is? We have invested in this broadcast, I will say it, thousands of dollars to make things
Right.
And then the one screw up is the same thing that would happen if you were using, Pony, get ready to edit again because you got to. If you were using a fucking vacuum cleaner, it's the same problem that would happen. Well, you got to plug it in, Hal. Well, you gotta, because when I hear that, and let me tell you what I hear on my end when that happens, I hear this.
Yeah.
And I just completely freak out because it
I bet-
sounds like
I bet I-
there's a small nuclear warhead that popped in. Yes,
I bet
Rob.
I can imitate
Yes.
the noise that you hear. I bet I can actually
Okay.
recreate. Doesn't it sound something like this? When it just goes to a hum and then a thump. How come for the one time? Screw me.
Yeah.
Forget it.
I'll show you how it's done.
Okay.
This is how it's
Okay.
done. So that's what we hear on
Yeah,
our end.
that's
we
right.
hear that on our end. When you went dead, I heard it.
Yes.
I
Yeah, so
heard it
did we.
drop, and I was like, oh, he kicked something out again.
Now we lost audio. Oscar, you were talking about something before we went to break. Was I going to tell you about my Exorcist,
Exorcist
sounds
baby,
of my
yeah.
the
son?
baby.
Let me
Maybe
give you
it's,
the.
you know what? When this happens again, you can, and Michael's actually crawling around, you can blame
Yes.
him.
True.
He doesn't come in here. He is crawling, and he's crawling at a rapid pace. This that especially this morning, if he wakes up and he's not in the greatest mood, whether it's we're at a different stage with him right now where sleeping through the night is required. So when he does wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, we're letting him go. And so he has been waking up a little cranky, and this morning was the classic example of it. I'm not getting the cooing goo goo gaga baby sounds from him as much as I get Exorcist sounds. And like, for example, I said, do you want to eat some bananas this morning? Do you want to eat some bananas? And he looks at me and he goes,
Oh no.
and I'm like, okay, I guess that would be a yes, wouldn't it be, son? You
At
know,
any
and,
point does he say bananas are way too vulgar of a fruit?
How dare you? What a wonderful day for bananas, Mr. Father Karras. What a lovely day, Father O'Mara. What wonderful. Yes, it's delightful.
and we've got some, to wash down those bananas, Michael, we've got some holy water for it. Oh, it burns! It burns. That's terrible. I don't want to say my
So
son is
lack of
possessed.
sleep?
No, it's not. It's just unsettled. So he got plenty of sleep. He goes down at about 7:30 now, and he's doing very, very well. And then he's just like looking at me today after I give him like 2 scoops of bananas. My deal is I do the morning with him. I get him out of bed,
Right.
and I usually feed him in the morning. And I sometimes will get him ready for his little outfit for the day, but we go back and forth with Mrs. O'Mara on that one. Today he has 2 mouthfuls of bananas, and he's looking at me as he's eating the bananas, and he begins to pound his high chair table. So he's going, like that. And I'm like, okay, very good. Very good, Omen child. That's it. But I love him to death.
Your mom had a birthday.
He's not a demon baby. I want to point that out.
Your mom had
Thanks
a
for
birthday
clearing
this
that
week,
up.
and I know you probably spoke to her several times because of it. Have you ever talked to your mom about what kind of baby you were?
No, I
Like
really
your
haven't.
personality traits? Because I think you should. I found out that
yeah, let's
by
call her now.
talking to parents, my
wait a
parents
minute.
and Carrie's parents, that Julia was very much behaved like me as a baby, and
Right.
Robert very much behaved like Carrie as a baby. And I'm wondering
Hold on.
if you had any sort of demonic streak.
It's weird you brought that up because I've actually got a letter from my mom that mentioned me as a baby.
that's
No
very
kidding.
sweet.
Yeah, she says you were magnificent.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there it is. Yes,
Practically perfect in every way.
you were a magnificent baby. Anyway, he's delightful. He's getting his front teeth now. We went and saw my niece Jessica yesterday with her 5-year-old and her 2-year-old. So it was babies around, and the only thing that was odd was the gray-haired Santa Claus man who happened to be one of the fathers.
How old is the other father?
The other father would be in probably, I want to say, late 20s, early 30s.
Well, you know what, Mike? To be fair, for the times you feel like you're a little older as a father,
Yes.
those times have helped a lot of the guys, especially in the listening audience, to say, you know what, I can put it off. Like, what's the hurry?
Exactly.
If I've done some good that way,
Yes.
Oscar, I'm happy.
I'm
if
one
I
of
have
those
done
guys.
some good. Yes, there you go.
Look how
Oscar's
happy
like,
Mike is.
Look at Mike. He waited till the
Yeah.
end of his life.
Shannon,
That's
we
the
don't
way
need to
to
get
do
married or have kids. We got all the time in the world.
No problem at all. Yeah. So I think I give hope to men in their 30s and 40s.
Yes.
There we go.
How was baby Michael with what I guess would be his second cousins?
Yeah, second cousin, he was great. Little Amelia, she got up from her nap, and my niece brought her out on the patio, and she was looking at me and staring at me like kids do.
Sure.
And it's kind of the female-male thing. She's looking at me just like she was terrified.
Yeah.
And then all the kids got together, except for the 5-year-old, Max, who is my niece's son, and he wanted to do the coconut head thing with my little baby. And, they have to be told at that age,
Hey, you
please
can't
don't
hit the kid like that.
Don't
Yeah.
squeeze the baby's head. Don't squeeze the baby's head.
Playing
And,
the game that you call soft spot.
and at one point, it's so funny you bring that up. At one point, he came over with his little 5-year-old hand, and he was like pressing on top of my kid. I'm like, don't! You're gonna go like right through to the gray matter.
I hate
don't
that.
want that. to
Speaking of kids, just briefly, if you guys don't mind indulging me,
Sure.
I went for a run yesterday, and I came back and I had some time, so I said I'll fly the drone before it gets dark, right?
Your activities. That's your golf.
It pretty much is.
That's your hobby.
But they were playing a little league baseball game on the field. I usually fly my drone. And so I went in front of the elementary school because they have this big quad, and I said, "Well, I'll just practice flying in tight quarters." And because I'm the biggest dork in the world, by the way. So
You are a geek.
And by the way, you add creepy to it because now you're flying your drone and hanging out at an
And
elementary school near a ball game.
I knew that because I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna look like such a pedophile, like out here with like a shiny toy." And
That's worse than Mike and the ice cream cone.
but the street lights were going off, so I said, "Well, odds are that most of the kids. I'm not going to fly too high to distract the kids from the game. I'll just fly it like a little low within this quad and work on my maneuvers, right?" And
Maneuvers.
His money maneuvers, Mike.
and out of the blue, as soon as that thing hit the air, and I'm talking not even like 50 feet in the air, I want to say they're a 5th grader and a 6th grader roll up on me, and they roll up like hard, like on their scooters, on their Razor scooters.
Sure.
And they're like, "Hey, sir, can we watch?" And I'm like, "Oh man, this is the worst thing that could ever happen, right?" And then
You loved it. You loved
no,
No, he
because
hates
I
kids.
feel like a kid toucher because there's no other reason someone would be doing that in front of an elementary school, right?
Yes, gather around, young men. Afterwards, we'll get candy.
No, Oscar, there is one other reason other than pedophilia that someone would do that in front of an
To
elementary
pick up
school.
their kids.
No, because you're a douche.
That's fair.
Did they like it though? Was it
They
cool?
liked it, but they were asking so many questions. And then one of them asked me, "Do you live around here? And does your wife like flying your drone as well?" And I didn't want to say, "Hey, man, I'm not married. I'm just creepy out here." So I lied. I lied to the 5th and 6th graders and said, "Yeah, my wife She doesn't understand why I love this.
You lied to the fifth graders because you were uptight.
Yes.
Don't have a wife. You kids can come over and watch TV
Yeah,
anytime you want.
They're asking me where I live.
I've
They're
got
telling
a
me they live down the
VCR.
street.
I got a pie. Come on, ice cream at my house.
Can we meet tomorrow so we can watch you fly it again? Like, they
Come on
wanna
over,
build
kids.
a life.
You don't need any directions. Just look for the government sign out in front of my property. It should be fine. No problem at all. All right, speaking of Oscar, we're going to have Oscar Razzi and all the entertainment news that's fit to pass along. That's coming up next on the Mike O'Mara Show, and I promise not to kick out any plugs. Thank you very much. I have a true story about our Sleep Number bed, and I want to tell you this. Last night, I said to Carla, Carla, you've been on that Sleep Number setting of 70 to 75 for a very long time. I will tell you that my Sleep Number setting is a 60, and I'd like you to try this. I would like you to back off on it. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, I haven't tried that. Mrs. O'Mara, I actually told her a little fib. I said I would turn it down to 60 for her. I actually went down to 50 with her last night.
You're crazy.
And what they will tell you when you go see one of those professionals in the Sleep Number store is the reason that the different adjustments, even the soft adjustments, work well is because of the basic structure of the Sleep Number bed and the support that it gives you. And that's why when I went down to 50 with her, she went to sleep blissfully, woke up refreshed, had a phenomenal night's sleep. Even after a little whiny whine last night, she was feeling refreshed. Maybe you think you can't afford a Sleep Number bed. I'll tell you, you really can't afford another restless night's sleep. The all-new Sleep Number Classic Series features their latest innovations, comfortably priced. You see, the Sleep Number bed uses air to support and cushion your entire body, and because each side adjusts individually, it's the perfect bed for couples. So I think officially I can tell you that Carla's Sleep Number is a 50 and mine is a 60 right now.
Awesome.
Hurry in right now to get a queen mattresses. They start at $699. You can save $300 on the all-new C4 queen mattress set. No better sleep. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 425 Sleep Number stores nationwide. You can find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again, 800-511-0061. Tell them Mike O'Mara sent you. Thank you very much. Without further ado, let's get right to it. It's Oscar Razzi.
Gentlemen.
Yes, take it away, pedophile.
Hey, settle down with that.
All right.
Hey, I think I have another drone. It's in my pocket. You want to look for it?
It's Oscar Santana's Magic Pants drone.
Oh, and it has a camera on it. I'm sure those kids went back to their parents and like, you can never go back to that park again.
Yeah, and somebody says, well, he just took one single picture from his pants drone. Is that a peach pit?
Pants drone.
Pants drone, you jerks. Are you gentlemen a fan of the movie The Goonies? It was a childhood favorite of mine.
You know, I actually watched it again for the first time in 15 years, not long ago. My kids loved it.
Good.
It creaked a little.
You
for
have
me.
no soul. Okay, The Goonies.
This from him.
The Goonies is great. It's one
I
of
would
my
love to do
favorite
my
movies all time.
impression of the Goonies.
Oh,
if
please,
you'd like
please.
ladies and gentlemen, from the Goonies, Mike O'Mara. Rocky Road.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was great, Mike. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. And I love the nickname Chunk.
I remember when tell us everything. When I was in 5th grade, I went to fat camp and I threw up all over the place. It was just so
Chunk.
great. Okay, well, gentlemen, looks like there is a Goonies 2 in development. Steven Spielberg is involved as he was in the first one, and Richard Donner is also, including the majority of the original cast. And if you look at the
60.
Again, the original, it would be a sequel of sorts. And they, I don't know if the original cast, it doesn't say here, would play themselves, but they will be in the film. The majority of them are. And as far as the actors go, if you look back at the cast, there are some real deal actors out
Big
there.
names.
Yeah,
Jerry
big names.
O'Connell, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
I think it's a terrible idea.
Oh, Ann
I
Ramsey.
think it's a terrible, terrible idea to do that.
The late Ann Ramsey. How are you?
I'm in heaven.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
looking down.
Well, she won't be there, clearly.
I'm looking down. They shouldn't do the Goonies anymore. I don't think you should do the Goonies.
sound
I
just
say
like
nay.
her.
Nay. Yes. F you, Oscar. Don't even report it. Goodbye.
What are the,
Don't you love that every now and then Mike busts out an impression and Oscar says, wow, You sound just like her. This is what he does, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, like, I have such a soft spot for the Goonies in my life.
Yeah.
That when you do that brought like such a warm feeling to my heart. Like it was
Oldie
cool.
but goodie.
It was
I used to
cool.
do
It
that a
was
long
cool.
time ago. Ann Ramsey was in my repertoire.
And what I also know is this: it wasn't Jerry O'Connell. It was Sean Astin.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought there was an older brother that was in
the
it.
older brother. He's the major actor now.
Ah,
I know who
okay.
you're talking
I
about.
know, okay.
His older brother
Right on.
was the major actor. But I'll bring that up later. But I thought that was cool if you're a Goonies fan. Moving on here, gentlemen, I'm going to name some TV shows, and you tell me if you've ever heard them.
Okay.
And I know that we are out of the MTV demographic, but there are some, news of note that are out there. Have you ever heard of the show One Bad Choice?
No.
I've seen it on the grid.
No,
I've never watched it.
I know you've heard of Snooki and JWoww, right?
Right, that's the sequel to Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Girl Code?
No.
Have you ever heard of Teen Wolf MTV's series?
Yeah,
the
I
movie.
have heard of that.
Yeah, you've heard of that? You've seen that?
Not seen it, heard of it.
Okay,
I'll say yes.
what about Ridiculousness?
Yes.
You
No.
have?
I have
Look
heard
at
of
you.
that,
Look
yeah.
how hip Rob Spiewak is.
I'm hip.
This one is a
No.
little concerning, but it's actually interesting as well. It's called Snack Off, and that is basically a show that's coming out that forces amateur chefs to create masterful munchies.
Oh, that's the MTV cooking show.
There you go.
Right.
All those shows I mentioned now are part of the new MTV lineup, which I thought was interesting because while I don't watch MTV anymore, I like to peruse once in a while simply because you want to stay a little relevant and
Sure.
see what's going on. I feel like the programming has not evolved that
No.
much in the last, 7 years?
No, it hasn't.
The one
Right?
thing is that there's still no music. Still
Yeah.
no music on MTV.
But really, this kind of gets back to the original thesis of the show, and that's what each show starts with, a thesis. It really seems to me that if this is just Steven Spielberg making the Goonies. It's like when Steven Spielberg stops creating originality, I mean, it's like, come on, give me a break.
Spielberg says, Mike, don't you think it might be time to revisit these characters?
You know, and I probably, if you look back at the filmography of Steven Spielberg, he probably has had many sequels, but it just frustrates me when, I just like it when he comes up with the original ideas because he's such a genius.
And actually, The Goonies is almost a very, very clever and close ripoff of a Little Rascals short. There are so many similarities. It's essentially a remake of Mama's Little Pirate.
I don't see that.
You should see it. It's
Yeah.
very nice. It's older.
Can I
but-
offer a suggestion
Sure.
to Mr. Spielberg? You've got a great franchise that's just sitting around out there making tons of cash. Really the biggest thing. And I think if you combine the two, how's about we combine Hunger Games with the Goonies?
Yes.
And you put all those little fat kids out there on some pirate ship, and you have,
little
Jennifer
fat
Lawrence
kids.
trying to
Oh
take
my
them out with a bow and arrow.
I
And
love
now
it.
I'm watching.
I
Now
love it.
watch it.
Yeah.
That's all you remember, the Goonies, the fat kids?
Yeah, the fat kid Chunk.
Yeah.
You see Jennifer Lawrence Chunk, like say he's running across some wet rocks, and Jennifer Lawrence leads him by about a foot and then right through the neck. That'd be great.
I like that.
That's so dark.
Is Short Round going to be in it?
No, stop it. Seth Meyers announced that he will host the 2014 Emmy Awards. So, everything's coming up Seth Meyers for Seth Meyers.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
congratulations, Lauren. Way to go, Lauren.
Another one, Lauren.
Right.
Jared Leto has apparently put out a personal project. Did you know he was 42 years old? He does not look 42.
Of course, I went to 7th and 8th grade with him.
Yeah, he looks much better than you do.
I know. Well, he's also done a little better than I have.
Did you really you went to 7th and 8th grade with Jared Leto?
I
did.
posted his yearbook picture when he won the Academy Award. I'll show it to you. He was a jerk. He didn't like me.
Yeah.
How the hell did I miss that, and how did we never discuss that?
We have. Yeah. In passing, you never actually gave it much thought. You just mowed past it.
It must have been really a super quick thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the fact that like a class member of Rob's won an Academy Award, like he mentioned that like 4 or 5 times, hoping you catch on to it, and you didn't, and then it's like 5 months later, and now
but we're here now.
Was it the heat of battle? Was I flying at that point?
No,
And
it's Rob. This is the thing with Rob, and we all have kind of the ways we like to bring things up. Sometimes it's really easy to kind of weave yourself into a conversation.
Sure.
But Rob, he was desperate to talk about it. I remember this because I felt like I was like, all right, enough about you and Jared Leto.
It was a big deal. It's a guy I went to school with.
We'd be walking into the house, like, did you know this? I'm like, and I'd just forget about it.
Yeah.
And then you'd mention on the show, he'd forget about it. It was probably driving him crazy because nobody was like, oh my God, you went to high school.
Rob, I worked with you for 20 years. You didn't make a big deal about it.
Oscar said I did.
Oh yeah, I heard enough about it.
So was he in the theater with you? Were you into theater in that?
They didn't do a
age
lot
group?
of theater in 7th and 8th grade when I was in 7th and 8th grade. What I remember about him was long hair and a Def Leppard T-shirt. He was a rock and roller type.
He was cool then.
And he was a little too cool
he was
for
cool
me.
That, yeah, how about
That's
he was
right.
a little too cool for all of us?
I guess you're right.
Yeah, okay.
But he was short.
Okay, are you happy for him?
No, actually, yeah. One thing that he did that's very cool, this is a Longfellow Intermediate in McLean or Falls Church, right on the border in Virginia. When
Right.
he hit it big, he went back and bought his house that he grew up in McLean. And I think that's really cool that he remembers his roots like that. So I think that's awesome.
Okay,
That's a very cool story. There we go. We got it on.
You should be happy about this, that he has his own documentary coming out called Artifact. The documentary he directed about a battle between his band, 30 Seconds to Mars, which has its own sense of success in the alternative world. And apparently he got in a big battle with his record label over a $30 million lawsuit came down over a contract. And it's going to be aired on VH1 this Saturday, and it's going to be on Palladia, and you can find it on iTunes. It's called Artifact. He mentions within the interview that his new Oscar or Academy Award statuette is filthy simply because everybody that comes over decides to take pictures with it. And all you can see on it now is fingerprints.
And if you haven't seen Dallas Buyers Club, he's tremendous in it. So check him out. He deserved the Oscar.
Very cool.
Good stuff.
And that is Oscar Razzi.
Thank you, Oscar. We appreciate that. We will take a break. When we come back, it is the Audio Vault with Jared Leto's childhood friend, Rob Spiewak. Right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the show. You know, as I grow older and wiser, there's one thought that will always come to mind. One notion that I believe with all my being, and that is, you only truly regret the things that you don't do. Listen. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Save yourself from agony and sadness. Today is the day for you to order your 2014 bonus show package. Order now, and you'll get all of the 2014 shows, plus on-demand video access to each show and unlimited access to the entire anthology. That's every TMOS bonus show since we started. Got a new one coming up today. You're going to love it. At $69.99, you save over 25%. The Mike O'Mara Show bonus hour, because you never want to suffer a heartache of regret. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Now, without further ado, let's open up the Audio Vault for Friday, April 25, 2014. Jared Leto's best friend, Rob Spiewak.
Yeah, we went to prom together, junior prom. And it's funny you're talking about kids and in middle school, because there's a couple trends going on that I want to bring up. Mike, have you heard of swatting?
Swatting?
Swatting.
Swatting. Well, we have love bugs down here in Florida, and we've been doing a bit of that, yes.
It has nothing to do with the rhythm heritage. Swatting, and this is an incident here. What happened is a couple kids were playing Call of Duty online, where, you use the headsets, and they don't actually see each other. One of the guys won. The other guy was very upset about it, so he called the police and reported a double murder at the winning kid's house.
Oh, my
So the
God.
police would send out, that's right, a SWAT team.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not. And the thing that's so bad is when the
my
SWAT team
God.
arrived, the kid didn't even know it because he was still wearing his headset. Let's go to the winning child's mother, Maria Castillo, Mike. And here she is talking about the heartbreak caused when the SWAT team showed up at her house.
I said, what happened? I said, somebody killed somebody in your house. They go, no, nobody, I hear.
Didn't know what was going on
No.
because he was wearing the headset.
Yeah. She don't know what happened. They keep playing too much.
You told him after this, don't play anymore?
Go work.
Go work.
Yeah. 17, she can work. That's it.
That's it.
that
You take
poor
off
lady.
that headset.
That's mom.
That sounds like my mom.
Yeah.
That sounds like mom saying, get out of
Yeah.
the house, stop playing your video games. So an
Can you-
older child, I would imagine.
17, she
Also,
says. But the thing is that's a
17.
trend. Swatting. You call the police and send a SWAT team to
Doesn't
someone's
that little
house.
effort that called get fined?
Of course he does. I know they've got to track him down, but they found the address
beat
by
that ass.
searching his IP address from his
Yeah,
account.
people are so dumb.
Very, very dumb. But
What
not
would
as-
Mama Santana have done to you if you had,
She would have said
swatted
all of that to the reporters in
Right.
that same broken English, and then I would. This was. I remember when I got kicked out of school. Basically got kicked out of private school.
Right.
I remember that was a long, lonely summer. I remember it was a lot of hard work, a lot of work that didn't need to be done around the house on my own that I had to get through. It was
Wheels
tough.
touchdown from Argentina, and Pedro, what's his name?
Oh, no, it was Pedro Moreno. I got the beat down.
The beat down.
I try to block those out, as you know, as many child abuse victims do. Like
Blocking out the beat down. Hallelujah.
We should have
go
called.
ahead, Rob.
We should have called and sent a SWAT team over.
Absolutely.
Another trend among kids right now, Mike. Be aware, as you have a young son yourself. Beeson. Have you heard of Beeson?
No, I guess this is the day I haven't heard of anything.
Beeson. All right.
I haven't heard of Beeson.
Have you ever heard of the lip balm product called Burt's Beeswax?
Oh,
I have indeed.
Yes, I actually saw their MSNBC how the lady actually made her fortune off Burt's.
Well, they're going to be selling a lot of it right now because there is a rumor going around that if you put Burt's Beeswax lip balm on your eyelids, it makes you high. That's what kids are doing now.
No.
They're calling it Beeson. Let's go to the kids right now.
Let's
they
meet the
tingle,
break
next thing you know,
kids.
you waking up and your eyes are like swollen. I don't even know how you think of something like that. College kids, finals week, boring, studying all-nighters. You just plays little games with your brain.
Now, here's the thing
Hey,
that you
can I
really
stop
should
for a
keep in mind.
second?
Sure.
Isn't it always the kids like that? It's always those kids. You know, here's what did you and now we go to a college sophomore. You put
They
the
never have an
birthdays on the
articulate
eyes.
kid
You never
on
have an
there.
articulate
No.
kid.
These
you
are the
never
same
have the bright
kids.
kid because they're too busy like discovering the next Facebook.
Yes.
These are the same kids, Mike, that a few years ago were putting poop in 2-liter bottles and burying it. Remember? And they were going to get high that way. But here's the thing you really need to keep in mind. Beeson doesn't work. If you put lip balm on your eyelids, shockingly, you don't get high. Let us go to Mike O'Mara Show Chief Medical Correspondent, Dr. Brett Cawthon, to explain what happens.
It's the peppermint oil that's causing the burning sensation, and I suppose some people think that that's kind of funny. The peppermint oil in the lip balm is a very strong irritant and can cause inflammation in the eye, redness of the eye, swelling. Our big message is natural does not equate with safety.
You know what I love? I love people that go out and get themselves an education.
Yeah.
I truly,
it's
listen
actually
to the-
sad is what it is.
You listen to the kid who goes, "You put that thing on the word not there." You know, literally the vocabulary of an 8-year-old, and then the doctor tells you what really is happening. That was a fun thing to listen.
So
to.
what it does, Mike, it gives you all the symptoms of pot smoking except for one thing. It doesn't get you high. It
That's
just
it.
makes your eyes red and angry.
So high.
I don't watch Jimmy Fallon a lot, but he had Steven Tyler on last night.
Funny segment.
And Steven Tyler, Mike, he can still sing.
You can't. We have down here in Florida, Rob, these lizards that are called geckos.
Sure.
And I saw one, I swear to God, the other day that looked exactly like Steven Tyler.
I can see it. Listen here.
He still got it.
How do you
That's
think that makes
beautiful.
Aerosmith feel when he can go into a talk show without his band and still
Yep.
kill it like that? He's
Absolutely.
He is excellent. I would go see him in concert any day. One song that he won't sing though, Mike, is called "Take Your Poo to the Loo." Now, did you know one of the leading problems in India, so much so that UNICEF has taken it on as their pet cause, is people defecating in the street? So
Okay.
what they've done is they've come up with a catchy jingle to remind you that if you have to go big potty, go to the toilet. Don't do it in the street. In essence, Mike, take your poo to the loo.
First thing in the morning, what do I see? A pile of staring at me. I close my eyes, I step away. No matter where I go, there's no getting away.
Our call centers are over there.
Kind of a scary country where you have to have a song telling people they have to poop in the street.
Well,
Jesus.
I don't know. I heard someone singing it on Wisconsin Avenue and yet not observing the protocol. So, also, Mike, we close today with a comedian that sometimes I think is funny, sometimes I don't. This I like. Jim Gaffigan talking about the fact that he's not really good at losing weight.
I can't stop eating. I can't. I haven't been hungry in like 12 years. I haven't. I'm like, I'm so full. I guess I'll have some cheese. I don't even like this cheese.
You don't even like this cheese.
I guess I'll finish it. I can't stop eating. And, you know, I've put on some weight, but, you know, luckily this is intentional. I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm preparing for kind of a big role. It's a cinnamon roll.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Rob. For all technical support issues with the Mike O'Mara Show, you can contact our Sugar Glider Wrangler himself, Matt Blum. Just drop him a line at ponyboy@MikeO'MaraShow.com. All correspondence for the show can be sent to P.O. Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. And the e-voice hotline is 800-440-8167. Pony?
Yes, sir.
Do you ever check the e-voice hotline? Ever in your life? Have you ever checked it?
I do. I check it all the time, and we get tons of emails transcribed from voicemails, and then I help people out.
Well, I'll give you an entire week to give me one of them next week.
You
How
got
about that? For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.